Welcome to Paint a Beautiful Picture. I'm sure you know by now, but if you are a new listener, my name is Violet Newby. This is about painting beautiful colors and designs and textures into your child's life. Today, we're going to be talking about intending to participate. I have to tell you, a lot of parents have children, but they don't intend to fully participate in their child's life. Now, if you're a very involved parent, you may not believe this, but I've seen it so often. Go to your room, here's a tablet, go play on your video games, play with your toys, get out of my hair, basically, get out of my face. If you have a child, especially if you have a baby or a toddler, and you're kind of a self-centered parent, and heaven knows all of us are self-centered human beings. I mean, the whole world revolves around us, right? We know that. I mean, it's hard to admit sometimes, but it is the truth. And suddenly, you have this other person, and it takes so much time and so much energy. You've got to devote more to that child than you probably even dreamt. Even if you did want to have a baby, you're shocked at what it takes to take care of that child. So you might as well get it into your head and develop a full intention that you are going to actively participate in that child's life every step of the way. Okay? That doesn't allow for much go to your room, get out of my hair time. I'm really serious about that because that's where kids get into trouble. I mean, this is where kids flush 4 pairs of underwear down the toilet and clog up your whole entire plumbing system. Yes, of course, I know someone to whom that happened. This is where kids put little trucks and how many Legos can fit in the toilet. And anyway, oh, my stars alive, I cannot tell you the things kids will do when they're left to themselves because they're mischievous and curious, and things are going to happen. So the more actively participative you are in your child's life, the less likelihood there is that they're going to get themselves in all kinds of trouble trying to entertain themselves. Uh, I didn't hover over my kids, but I kept my kids alongside of me most of their childhood. It means when your child goes to dance, you can let them out the door and you can sit there and play on your phone for an hour. You definitely can. But then when your child comes out and says, Alice wasn't very nice to me, and you don't even know who Alice is, or my teacher bawled me out because, and you go in there ready to fight, because you're the mama bear and you're ready to, but you don't know the whole story. Whereas if you had been at least in the building, or if you're allowed in the room, you would have known ever so much more. That is your decision. You can intend to participate. You can intend not. I'm going to say this right off the bat so you don't think I'm an inconsiderate jerk. I'm not saying to you that you can never have time to yourself. That is not what I'm telling you. But I'm telling you that if your children are in school all day and you have 7 or 8 hours, and then you're going to take them to t-ball, or they're going to go to dance, or he's going to go to gymnastics and tumbling, you probably want to actively participate in those parts of your child's life in order that you can see what they're doing, and you can tell how they're progressing, and you can tell how much they love it. You can see things about how they're not getting along with the person who's teaching them, or they get along marvelously with the person who's teaching them. There are just so many things to learn and see, and frankly, to emotionally connect about when you're being a participant in your child's life. If you just cannot stand music, and your child's a very early piano student, and it's like racket in your ears, you don't have to sit in the room. Because believe me, I did that with one of my sons for about a year, and I thought I was going to lose my mind, just so you know. But I did. I stayed there, and I was part of that. You don't have to sit in the room. You could sit on the porch. You could take a good book. I'm just telling you that at some level, you must make up your own mind that you intend to participate in your child's life. Here's where this gets to be such a big thing. One of my sons, when he was a teenager, he didn't want to participate in anything. He's truly a homebody. He's not really very social. He would far prefer to be alone. And yet, there were just the three of us as a family, me and my 2 sons. I wanted us to do things together when I was off of work. And so I would tell him in no uncertain terms, You are going. I didn't say you had to have a wonderful time. You're not going to be a jerk. You're not going to have a big attitude on me, but you are going to get dressed and you are going to go. And I will use the language that I forced him to go. Although heaven knows when a kid's almost 6 feet tall and outweighs you, you really don't force anyone. But, I exerted some parental pressure and he would go. In other words, I influenced him to participate with us because he saw me. I was a very active participant in his life, and I could use that leverage to say, you're going to participate with us as a family. I can honestly say this because, he's well into his 40s and we've had lots of conversations. He has told me more than once, Mom, I'm glad you made me do it because it was good for me. And I learned how to be generous to someone else with my time. And I learned the value of going and trying something or doing something I would have normally just never done. But you encouraged me and you sometimes forced me to participate, and that was a good thing. If you are an example to your child of what it looks like to participate, even you can say to your child, even when I don't like it sometimes, I do have other things to do. You understand that. Don't be nasty about it. Just acknowledge. But you are so important to me, and the things that you are interested in matter so much to me. That's what I'm doing here, and that's why I'm going to continue to be here. Then they understand, okay, I can also participate in things I don't necessarily love, that aren't my favorite, that aren't really exciting to me, because that's what people who love one another do. They participate. And that really makes it better. You need to have well established guidelines in your household about what participation means. So, say you have game nights on Friday night. Every Friday night, your family gets together from 6 to 10 and does game night. And your child is now 14 years old, and she's like, I want to go spend the night with Alicia. And you say to her, yeah, this is family game night. I expect you to participate. You can spend the night with her on Saturday. I don't mind that. As long as you guys still come to church on Sunday morning. I mean, if you're awake till 3 in the morning, you still got to get up and be at church. But this is family night. You didn't talk this over with me. No, I need you to participate in family night. That's just an example, okay? You have to have your own guidelines within your family of what's expected where your child participates, okay? I know someone who has a family reunion every year, and their daughter, I think she was about 17 years old, she scheduled something during that time, and it was a big conflict because her mom and dad told her in no uncertain terms she was going to participate in that family reunion that only happened once a year. And it really, in a sense, it was her exertion of her independence as a young adult. And I understood her point of view absolutely perfectly. But it was probably the last year under their roof where she was going to participate in this family reunion. So there was a real conflict. I'm not even going to tell you how they solved it. That was their family. But what I want you to know is you will have things that you will expect your child to participate in as a family member. And as they get older, you might expect some conflict with that. And you have to make your own decisions about the level of participation that you expect and when and if there are exceptions that are allowed. But you need to intend to participate in your child's life, and you need to have the intention that your child is going to participate in family life. That includes work, it includes play, it probably includes vacations and trips and things of special interest. It might include weekly events like a game night or a movie night. I know a family that every Friday night they watch a movie and eat popcorn and hang out and talk and laugh, and that's really awesome. But you want to have participation of everyone in the entire family, and so you're teaching participation. Here's the thing. When people get older, I've watched it many times in a lot of work environments. They might struggle to participate in group activities. And oftentimes I can look at that person and say, I can tell the way they were raised, they were not taught the importance of participation. They don't see the point. I just don't want to, like my son when he was 14, I don't feel like it. I'm going to do this instead. Well, there are times for that. But overall, in a lot of parts of life, it takes cooperation and participation. You have the opportunity to intentionally participate in your child's life, intentionally teach your child the value of participation in family life and relationship, and certain kinds of activities, then when they grow up as an adult, they're a much healthier adult and a far better employee, friend, family member. And so I want you to really foster that participation in yourself and in your child. I've had a lot of people say to me, it feels mean to make my child participate in something he or she doesn't really want to. Do you think it's mean when your boss tells you you have this project and you've got to have it done by the 15th? Because some things just need to happen, right? In order for a business to run smoothly, frankly, in order for a home to run smoothly, some things just have to happen. Sometimes they even have to happen on a deadline. I don't think for a minute in time that it is mean or unkind or unfair to actually expect another human being to cooperate and participate with us in something that needs to happen. And so when you have that straight in your mind, probably it's going to help you as a parent to be very rock secure in what you're doing about why you're going to have your child participate, even if it's against his or her will at some points. And I promise you, sometimes it will be. I know this one. The other thing is find activities they love, and all of you participate in that. So I'm not totally wild about climbing up big mountains or hills. It's perhaps not my all-time favorite activity, but one of my sons really loved to run and liked to hike. And so we did. We all participated in that together. And I can really tell you that there are some cool things in the world. I really like Devil's Rock in Wisconsin. I would have never seen it if I didn't choose to participate in something that was really a big deal to my son. I love to roller skate. I didn't have to work really hard at getting my kids to participate in that activity when we'd go roller skating on Friday nights. What I'm saying to you is all of you at some point will have an activity you may or may not love together, but when all of you participate together, then it really does foster a great feeling. People discover new things they didn't know about, and it does help to bind you together as people and as a family. My challenge question for you today is, how do I do at participating? If you're kind of shy or a little more socially withdrawn, it might be really a challenge for you. And you have to determine your own personal willingness about the level of participation that you're going to do. But still, how am I doing at participating? And how am I doing at nurturing, teaching my child to participate along with us? I hope that you really participate in a fun activity today with your family and that you enjoy your children and your family life. Thank you so much for joining me today on Paint a Beautiful Picture. You may find additional information on our paintabeautifulpicture.com website. Additionally, you may watch me on Rumble, and you may also listen to a podcast on Buzzsprout or Spreaker, all under the name Paint a Beautiful Picture. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. You may subscribe, and if you are interested in receiving notifications, please hit the notifications button.